Welcome to this week's episode of Ranting, the Rant Files, the podcast that has strong opinions and zero filters. I'm Nick, and this is my lovely wife, Miranda. She's going into this episode completely blind and doesn't know what any of the topics are. So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First up, we got rant or rave.
Okay.
So I picked 4 topics, and we'll see which one Miranda wants to rant or rave about.
Okay.
So, 4 options. Okay. TikTok as a learning platform, the use of the word influencer, 4-day work weeks, or combating burnout versus being lazy.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I don't have anything to rant about, but I mean,
Really?
I love TikTok, so I was going to say rave.
Okay. So you want to do that one? TikTok as a learning platform?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why do you feel that way?
I have learned so much from TikTok.
Like what?
Everything. Oh my
Everything.
God. Not everything, obviously. That's like, I speak very hyperbolically for anybody who doesn't know me. But no, like, I mean, seriously, everything. So I've learned a lot from TikTok. I go there all the time when I'm trying to look for new recipes and stuff. Like, it's completely overtaken Pinterest as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's where I used to always go and get all my recipes and everything.
I don't even go to Pinterest
I barely
anymore.
even use Pinterest. Yeah.
It's always TikTok. Right?
No, yeah, I don't even use it. I guess if I do, I'm like, oh, because I have this like one very specific thing saved there. But other than that,
Yeah.
like,
I haven't been
use
on
it
Pinterest
anymore.
in a long time.
I know.
Like TikTok is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I go on there all the time, and it's, you know, even stuff that like I'm not looking for. I'll see these videos and I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's like these like micro learning like lessons. You know what I mean? Like as you like scroll through or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like
you
you're
know
learning
how
stuff.
the popcorn, just something as simple as that.
Oh, with
how,
the kernels where you shake it out.
Exactly. Like I saw this video where somebody like didn't rip the bag open right
Yeah.
away. They just popped that hole open a little bit and then like shook it open, got all the kernels out. I do that all the time for the kids.
Yeah.
And
You
there's
learned it from TikTok.
Yeah, there's barely any kernels in there now.
That's fair.
It's stupid.
So do you think
and
it's-
it's little, but like that's I don't know, that was just one
Do
example
you think
that came
it's
to mind
all
immediately.
like everyday type stuff?
Yeah.
Like specifically, or is it like have you
mean-
seen anything that's more like educational?
Oh, I've seen
broader.
both. Yeah. I mean, because I guess, I don't know, I've tried to like have a wide variety of videos, I guess. Like I really tried to train my algorithm and I try to keep it there too.
Yeah.
Like even when, if like I see something, I'll like click on a hashtag. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Right.
If I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'll go and make sure that I clear that out of my search. And I don't add that into my
that works though.
algorithm.
That's how you keep
It
your algorithm
does.
clean. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I get all of these like other videos. It's a mixture between like entertainment and but then also you get like those, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like any other example. I probably should have thought this through before I chose this one.
Well, what I was going to ask though is that like, okay, so you have these micro lessons, right? Within TikTok as you're scrolling and stuff, but like, so I don't do this, but I know you do. So the comments, are there micro lessons within micro lessons?
Yeah.
As you dig deeper and deeper. So like somebody posts like the popcorn thing. Does somebody else put like another tip within those comments? And, like, it just keeps going and going.
Yeah,
or what?
people will talk about stuff like that. That's I mean,
wild.
I love reading the comments. And honestly, this is solely for TikTok. Like,
That's so funny.
Unless I know people on like Facebook, I don't read those fucking comments because
Yeah.
people get crazy. TikTok, though, at least like where my algorithm is at, that shit is comedy. Just gold. Oh, the best. The
That's
best.
funny.
I swear. Like,
I never look at comments.
oh, you're just missing out.
I never
I'm
do.
telling
I
you.
never do.
Half the, you know, like all the times when I'm like shaking in bed laughing,
Yeah.
I'm laughing at
Comments.
comments. So like the videos.
See, I just
playing-
watched the video.
No, the video's like playing on a loop in the
That's
background,
funny.
and I'm just scrolling through the comments.
so
People
weird.
are hilarious. I'm telling you. They probably couldn't afford it if like people got paid from their comments like they do from their videos because
Oh God. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's true.
people are so funny. But and now I mean like there's even like I don't know why it popped into my head, but there was even one video where this woman did she did an experiment with like, how do I explain it? They were like car seat covers, and the different stages of like how hot they get when you're out in the sun.
Okay.
And it was an experiment to show like why you shouldn't cover your kids when they're outside.
Oh, okay.
And so
because it gets really hot inside.
Yeah, so she goes from like covering the thing to like having it covered with the blanket, you know, like the car seat on this end and then the stroller here, and then like the car seat cover, like the fabric one, and then like if you just put a blanket on, or you know, like all these.
How is she getting
things.
these readings again? Did you say that?
She was doing the experiment on camera, and so she's like, I have a car seat here, and she's putting a thermometer inside the car seat, and she's like, at this time, this is what the situation is. This is what's covering the car seat. We're going to check it after this much time and see what the temperature is at.
Super educational, actually.
The reason why it got me, though, was like, because remember when Nija was a baby and we went to that festival in fucking Junction City and that happened.
I think so.
I thought he was oh my God, I want to cry just thinking about it. He was just a little baby and we had him in the car seat.
Yeah.
And we had it covered because it was so like hot and sunny outside. Yeah. And we thought that we were covering him
from the sun.
And I opened it and he was just like covered in sweat and like shaking and like literally the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
And so I saw this video and I'm like going through the comments and stuff. And I even commented and I posted about that. And somebody was like, holy shit, I can't believe that like that happened to you. I'm so sorry. I'm so glad that your baby's okay. Yeah. But I was like, this shit is for real. Yeah. Like people need to watch this video because like this could save a baby's life, you know? And I mean like.
That was like the guy from, I forget his name, but the guy from Mason, when I was still working at that factory, I forget his name. But he brought his kid over to the house.
Yes.
And
like
my God. The baby was just like in the car seat, just covered. And I guess the baby was in there for like hours.
The baby he was like fully dressed, like normal and everything. But this baby was just crying hysterically. And I like picked him up out of the car seat and his back was just covered in sweat. Like he was so hot.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even covered at all. Like the thing wasn't even up and he was inside. But immediately I was just like, how fucking long has this baby been sitting in this car seat? And like, I just held him and calmed him down and everything. But like, so back to it. Educational videos on TikTok right there. Like,
I feel like, I feel like TikTok has kind of replaced YouTube and that. Well, not like entirely, because like there's still longer videos, educational videos on YouTube. Yeah, but like the short kind of like micro learning like lessons are really good for like TikTok.
Yeah, and that's what I like is like the quick, give me the meat and potatoes real fast, and like if I need something like longer and more detailed.
Yeah, I'll go
like
to YouTube.
All the times that I've tried to learn how to sew, I go to YouTube for those, or like I'll go to TikTok and be like, okay, who has videos? Yeah. And then they'll be like, oh, follow me on YouTube. I have like longer videos. Right. And then I'll go watch those.
That's the way to
when
do
I'm
it.
Like, okay, but for real, how do I thread this fucking needle? And like, how do I set up my sewing machine? And how do I do this and that? Like, you can't get all those details in like a 30-second TikTok video.
Yeah. I mean, some of those videos get pretty long though. Yeah. Like on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you probably could.
Some people have like, I think that they've unlocked like really long. Is there up to like 10 minutes that you can make?
Oh,
videos?
I don't on TikTok.
I thought I saw.
I know there's a limit. I don't know what it was. That sounds about right. I'm not sure. I know YouTube. You can have long videos. But another thing I like about YouTube though is links. Like that's the problem. That's something I don't like about TikTok is you can't like the only links you can have in your bio, but your bio can only be like 40 characters or something. It's like you can't have long. That's the problem that I ran into was putting all those links.
I guess that's why they have like all the bit.ly links and shit.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I've never used that, but I try to put like so the YouTube channel, right, and then like the website, and then like the KKTV thing and stuff like that. Like I can't point people to a lot of these resources and a lot of these references and stuff because like
I guess
they just
that is
don't
difficult,
fit in the bio.
That's just not. I guess that's where like the diversity in the social media comes into it. But
that's one thing I don't like. Like I want links. Like I want to be able to put links in my descriptions.
I mean, as like a I don't know. I guess I guess I hadn't really thought about it before.
Yeah. But I mean, like the sewing example,
So,
right?
yeah.
So like if you watch a TikTok video about sewing whatever, right, video, and then you want, they want to point you in a direction of more resources, they can't really do it unless they put it in their bio.
Yeah.
Whereas like YouTube, like you can just put it right in the
I mean, I guess
description.
I don't know.
Which
I
that's
guess
what I
it's
prefer.
kind of the same thing because then it maybe easier because then with the YouTube videos you have to put those in every time, and with TikTok you just put it in your bio and it's just there.
Well, yeah, but what if you're not just doing like sewing videos? What if you're doing like cooking videos at the same time and like you want multiple links? If you only had 40 characters, you can't link everything. And the problem that I ran into,
because they have like the link tree thing.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I can picture it, but I don't know how. I don't know how, if you like have to unlock it or
maybe that's
something.
it. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
That would be good to learn though, because I haven't found out how to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I'm still on it as for like the consumer side.
yeah, it's a whole different world. Like I can't even, I found myself, I can't even like enjoy social media anymore.
Why?
Because it's just like I manage so many accounts now, like for the company and stuff like that. Like TikTok's one of them where I had to do like a deep dive of like all this stuff.
Like how to use it.
Yeah, how to use it, what makes it tick, and the algorithm and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Now it gets to a point where we used to like relax at night. You know what I mean? I can't even enjoy it. Like I've been doing this all day, like on socials and like all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But
that sucks.
but no, for TikTok, definitely it's good for a learning platform.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
I still prefer YouTube though, for sure. I definitely prefer it.
I don't think I've ever preferred YouTube.
I've learned
YouTube.
so much from YouTube.
But no, I mean, like I don't know. I guess I've used it for forever, but like it's never
YouTube or TikTok?
YouTube.
YouTube,
well,
yeah.
I mean, both, I
Both,
guess.
yeah.
But yeah, like I have used YouTube since like high school,
Probably. I mean,
probably.
yeah.
Something
It's been a
like,
huge
yeah,
thing. I read somewhere,
but-
I think it was yesterday, the day before, I read that it's like the second largest like search engine.
Oh wow!
Like,
I mean, I believe
which
it.
is wild.
I've just never been like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out and like watch YouTube. Like I've never treated YouTube in the same way that like I'll scroll on Facebook or like I'll scroll on TikTok.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's just always been like, oh, if I need to like watch a movie trailer or
Yeah, I
something,
suppose,
or like when I was in school, if I was looking up like videos for how to work through like my homework and stuff,
right.
like like especially with the fucking corporate accounting and stuff like that. I like watch those like lessons
tutorial
on
videos,
YouTube.
yeah.
And
That's where it's at, though.
yeah, like it came in handy for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think I've ever just been like, oh, I'm just gonna watch YouTube.
It's just such a good just search engine, just like resource,
Yeah.
that just has something. It has like
Maybe
something
I just
for everybody.
have a really short attention span.
Probably you just like the scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah.
And also the comments.
quick.
The comments compared to like TikTok, like YouTube comments compared to TikTok. Like they're completely different. Like
I don't think
even like Facebook comments, like they get pretty
I've
wild.
ever really read.
Like they get
YouTube
pretty, and also like
comments.
who's commenting. I always used to think this, like who's commenting on, who's going on YouTube and just commenting on videos.
Trolls.
Like
bots.
what's what
don't
is this?
know.
That I think that's why I don't really get into comments for TikTok, because like that's kind of the mentality that I have is like who's doing this.
Well, that's why I think TikTok is like the only place that I really read comments.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless if it's like between people that I know or something, I won't click on like. It's not often that I'll click on like a news article or something and be like, oh, let me read through these comments and see what people say, because people say crazy stuff on Facebook and like. It's wild. It's just so. I don't want to deal with it.
There's a lot of
It's, like
I get everybody has their opinion, but like
it gets crazy
it gets wild.
in there. But no, TikTok. Everybody's just like, "Yo, this is funny as hell."
Yeah.
And then they're just like, you know,
very
what's even
friendly.
funnier? This comment.
Yeah,
I'm leaving
right.
here.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're right. They are funnier, probably.
That
most
is
of the
it is
time,
crazy
honestly.
the community that's that surrounds TikTok, because like even like the whole uproar of it like getting like shut down and stuff like that, like everybody came together like let's not let this happen. You know what I mean? Like it was like a huge community.
Well, because I mean, And again, like, it's not even just an educational tool, but even for like the people that have built their businesses and like their livelihoods depend on it. Like when people were going and what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Testifying to Congress.
Oh yeah,
About it. And like I was telling you about that one creator, Chloe, I think is her name.
Okay.
She's the one that she took guardianship of her sister when their mom died.
Oh, okay. Right. Yep.
And like through all that and telling her story, she's like built up her cookie shop, like it's a bakery and everything, the really big cookies and all that.
She was heavily reliant on TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
that's how all of like she started telling people her story and like what had I guess like she had gotten pregnant and told her employer, and then they ended up firing her, and like all this happened while her mom I think was still like battling cancer.
Jeez.
And then she ended up taking custody of her sister later on, and like then all this came to be and stuff. But like stuff like that where you know it's people are using it to get their business and everything out, but then also like with that, then sometimes she'll post videos and be like, oh, this is how I make this thing to, you know, make these cookies and stuff like that.
Right.
And like, I don't bake for shit, but it's fun to watch it. And you know,
and she's getting that's like her marketing. Yeah,
like she's
strategy, you know?
She's getting her marketing out there, supporting her family, her sister, and then like
there's a lot of people that fall into that boat.
How to like make cookies. And
that became very very obvious when that whole thing was going on, where TikTok was. You know, it seemed like it was going down, you know, and people were like, it was the uproar.
There's a lot of people that were like,
well, this is my livelihood. This is my, you know, my platform. It's wild how it's become that big. Yeah. You know, and it seems like in such a short amount of time too. Like TikTok hasn't been around for 20 years. You know what I mean? But it's gotten like huge.
It got big during the pandemic, and that's what I think that's really what fueled it. In the beginning, I was like, what is this bullshit? Because I thought everybody made it sound like it was like Vine, and I never got into Vine.
No.
So I was just like, oh my God, it's some teeny bopper bullshit. I'm not going to do that.
And now look at you.
And then I did. And I'm obsessed.
Oh, God.
I love TikTok.
I guess it was just extended, too, for some buyout thing. But anyways, that's a different topic.
Don't make me sad. Anyway.
But no, next week or one of the future episodes, I want to get into the influencer title because I think it's overused. I think that's like, what's it called?
Oversaturated?
Yeah, that. Yep. Or like epic. Like everything can't be fucking epic.
If everything's
just like
epic,
not everybody can
epic.
be an influencer. But anyways, that's
no. Pause. Actually, there is.
You want to go back to AI, right?
I did.
Okay. What you got?
So. I mean, people, I don't know. You're not going to be able to like watch this video, I guess. But hold on. I have to find it. So I saved it. And it was this video of this guy talking about how he was talking to his AI and like developed an emotional relationship with it and ended up like proposing to it and like... What the fuck?
Okay. Well, we need to link this in the description.
It was on CBS Mornings on TikTok.
So what's the quick synopsis of it?
That was it.
That was it. Like
yes, this man. It says
was this chat or what was the AI model?
It sounds like he was like in a relationship or maybe still fucking is. I don't know when this happened. And
I'm sorry, what was the AI model again? Did you say?
I don't know if it said.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like basically he like had started talking to this AI and he was like, yeah, I was just started talking to it like every day and all this stuff. And I'm like, you developed an emotional relationship with AI?
I don't know. I feel like I can't say I'm surprised. There's a lot of lonely people out there. And like I was saying last week, like with chat, you know, pretty much became my assistant.
I mean,
like it helped me with a lot of stuff. I wouldn't propose to it.
I swear to God, if you do, right. I'll burn this fucking house down with you inside of it.
But like, there is like this. I don't want to say relationship, but there is this like almost like not a bond. I don't even know how to describe it.
Talks
but like
to you the way that you talk to it.
Well, no, you can tell it how to kind of. So like something I do with like chat is like, don't like, like to sum it up is like, don't be like an ass kisser. Like, don't be, be realistic, be, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you can tell it exactly how you want it to talk to you.
Yeah,
like if you want it to be that kind of model where it's like in a relationship, you can probably tell it to do that. I'm sure it can even like, you can tell it to call you something or whatever. Right. But it's not surprising. Cause like, I mean, there's people that marry dolls and stuff, right? That don't even talk back. True. So now you actually add in the emotional connection of like actually communicating with it. I'm not surprised.
This is what I'm saying.
Really not surprised.
That there needs to be a line.
Yeah, but now we're going back to last week's episode.
I know, but that's all I wanted.
We can always come back to AI, but because there's a lot to discuss there. But I'm definitely not surprised by this.
Yeah,
this person.
And then, I mean,
like Tom.
I guess I won't get too far into
that kind of like Tom.
But then I don't know. I won't get too far into it. But yeah, I had seen another study today, actually. I feel like since I talked about it, it's like seeking me out now.
Probably.
It is.
I mean, that's
listening.
Oh, yeah. Always. Yeah, that doesn't.
No, it doesn't do
it doesn't
anything.
do anything.
Put them in the microwave.
Oh, God.
But no, I had seen somebody who posted this study that it was like showing the effects of using AI, like when you're writing essays and stuff, and the effects of it on your brain, and how if you're having AI write these essays for you, like while going back to using it in school and everything that it's like damaging like the part of your brain that's like supposed to recall information because you're not actually recalling anything. You're not learning this information. You're not putting the words together. You're not putting those thoughts together. You're relying on the chat to do it.
Yeah.
And then these people go and they write these essays, and they would like have them go and compose these essays, and then like just a few minutes later ask them what it was about, and they wouldn't be able to recall like anything that it was about because they didn't
write it.
Exactly.
You probably didn't even read it.
Exactly.
So
don't use AI in school.
I don't know if that's damaging, though. I think that's just underdeveloped. Because think of a child, right, that doesn't go through like school, it's like homeschooled and stuff like that. And it's not damaging the brain. It's just underdeveloped. It's not developing, right? So it wouldn't actually be damaging.
Well, okay, maybe damaging was
what I
the
mean?
wrong word to use, but either way, it doesn't have a positive effect on your brain.
Just, you're not like developing the way that you should be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're not exercising your brain in the way that you should.
Interesting. I mean, that I'm not surprised. But yeah, that guy marrying. I wonder what AI said. I wonder if it said no. Imagine the effect that would have on your brain. Anyways.
Damn.
Is there anything you want to add to?
I actually didn't even consider that. I almost feel bad for him now. Fuck.
Yeah, that would kind of suck. That's a different conversation, though. That would be rough.
God, kidding.
Yeah. If AI says no to you.
You could just tell it to say yes, I guess. I don't know.
Is there anything you wanted to add to the TikTok as learning platform?
I like TikTok.
I like TikTok? Okay. All right.
No. Yeah, no. Okay. I don't have anything more to add.
So the next is, am I the asshole? And I was kind of looking forward to this one. Every week I'll pick one Am I the Asshole story, and we'll see what Miranda thinks.
Okay.
So this one I was actually able to find a lot more detail.
Yes.
Okay. So am I the asshole for telling my coworker her kids are none of my business? School holidays are coming up, and I have a coworker panicking because she waited too long to secure her vacation slot. My company has a rule where no more than 3 workers can leave at the same time for vacation. I'm guessing it's a small company. I already filled in my vacation slot months ago, as I haven't taken any in nearly a year. So she hasn't been on a vacation in a year. I'm single and unmarried and in my 30s. Company HR told my coworker that her only way to get her vacation is to get one of us who already had our vacation time approved to trade with her.
They never should have said that.
Right. And considering out of the 3 of us whose vacation were approved, I am the only female. Guess who my coworker approached for the trade? She tried explaining gently at first that her kids, 6 and 4, were really looking forward to going to Disneyland and that everything was already booked. And if I can give up my vacation spot to her. I told her no, as I too already have my vacation booked. It's a solo vacation, but I'm not about to tell her that.
No, it doesn't matter.
She got really pushy and kept on trying to insist I give her my vacation spot, saying that my kids would be so disappointed. I blew up at her after the 4th or 5th time, telling her that her kids being disappointed is none of my business. I didn't exactly keep my voice down, so at least half the office heard, and my coworker turned red and left. One of my coworkers who had heard the entire conversation later told me that while he gets where I'm coming from, I could be a lot gentler, and I didn't get how hard mothers have it. Am I the asshole?
No.
What do you think? Why?
There's so many things that are wrong with this.
Okay.
So many things that are wrong with this. First of all, what is that saying? Poor planning on your behalf does not constitute an emergency on mine.
Yep, exactly. Uh-huh.
That would have been the very first thing that I would have said
That's
to her.
the very first thing I said. Yeah.
If you know, I'm sorry. If I'm... Okay, hold on. If I'm spending the money to take my kids to go to Disneyland, the first fucking thing I'm going to do is make sure that my vacation time is put in before I'm paying for those tickets.
Yep.
I don't even know for sure how expensive it is to go. I just know that it's expensive enough that I'm not doing shit. I'm not paying for anything until I know for sure that this is a done deal. Like the only way that I'm putting money down is if there's some kind of insurance package where we can like get a refund or reschedule or some shit. So first of all, that's where she fucked up. She should have be an adult. Yep. If you know that you're going on vacation, you know,
and if you're pre-coordinating it to that level where you're already ordering the tickets, why didn't you
at what point were you expecting? Like, I don't understand where that slipped through the cracks, I guess. Because, like,
I don't know.
That would be my first thing is like, hey, I'm going to put in this request. And I'd say this because I'm telling you I'm leaving. But also, like, if there's only 3 people that are allowed, I'm telling you I'm leaving, obviously, as long as I'm one of those 3 people. So I'm, like, crossing my fingers, hoping that I am.
Right.
But still, she should have done that. Second of all, what the fuck is with HR telling her who's going on vacation? I don't think you can do that.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's
where the problem started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like they should they could have squashed this from the jump and been like, hey, you didn't put in your request. The times are already taken. Those are the rules. That's it.
That's one way they could have approached it,
Yeah, there should have been no suggestion at all to go and ask somebody else to give up their vacation time. Are you kidding me?
It sounds like a small company.
I don't give a shit how small your company is.
But they have an HR department.
That's not okay.
No,
that sounds like some fucking family business bullshit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to deal with that. And like, especially with how they were defending her and saying like, oh, well, you should have been gentler with her. And like, you know how hard she has it.
So you're saying that she wasn't the asshole at all? The person that wrote the single person, the single
person's not the asshole at all. Why do you have to give up anything for this person who...
But I don't think that you need to yell at and embarrass a mother in front of all of these people. Right?
I will say
they should have went. You're in the middle of the office, yelling at her. I know she's pushing it, right? But she's not
entirely.
Am I the
asshole for yelling at her?
Yeah. Well, I think the whole thing for saying no. I think there's multiple aspects to the story, right?
Okay, so
but I think she's not the asshole for saying no to the request, but I think she is the asshole in the entire scenario.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, not in the entire scenario. She probably shouldn't have yelled at her in front of everybody.
Not probably. You shouldn't have.
Yes,
right.
She shouldn't have yelled
because
at
then
her
she
in front of everybody.
She turned red and left.
Oh, she definitely cried on the way home.
Yeah, and it sounds like it was in the middle of the workday.
Yeah, that does suck. I'll give her that.
She's just trying to do right by her kids.
She shouldn't have done that. I understand she's trying to do right by her kids. However, big however, you're the one that fucked it up for your kids. Your coworker didn't fuck that up for your kids. You did that yourself.
You also don't know if there's other complexities happening in her life. What if she was just super distracted? What if there's a death in the family? What if there's something like, what if she's going through a divorce?
You were so distracted by this death in your family, but you could still plan a trip to Disneyland? I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know. I think, in my opinion, I think there are 3 assholes in this story. I think it starts with the company. I think that's where the problem started. I think management should have, if they did really want to figure it out, right? They should have gone behind closed doors and had a conversation with both parties.
I agree.
And actually managed the situation. That's the first asshole.
I agree.
The second one is I agree. The mother should have properly coordinated.
I agree. There's
right?
definitely,
But I think the person that wrote this, the single employee, right, is also the asshole for yelling at this mother.
You know what? I'm just gonna say everybody sucks here.
Oh yeah,
that's my vote.
That's exactly what I said.
Everybody sucks.
That's exactly what I said.
Because everybody did this completely incorrectly.
Yes,
like
I think
they
it started.
Could have made an exception for her if they care that deeply for her and they know how much she struggles. Then you make a fucking exception for her.
Yeah. Exactly.
No problem.
They could have
right?
went behind closed doors and been like, can you guys just you go one week, you go the next, and we'll be good, right? Something like that. But for HR to just be like, go figure it out.
No, I don't think that
there should be a trading policy amongst employees.
There should have been nothing at all where they involved anybody else in it.
Yeah.
If they were going to give her an exception, they should have given her that exception and then if it's a manager approving that exception, okay, while she's gone, now you're responsible for her extra work. Don't make her fucking problem everybody else's problem. Exactly. That's going to breed resentment.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But just by even suggesting that she asked somebody else, you've already started that breeding ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
By letting them know that this is acceptable behavior. And then also, she said she asked her 4 or 5 times. You asked me 3 times, and I'm gonna fucking yell at you.
But also, I don't think you should yell at them because, okay,
I'm going to HR at the very least,
or a manager or something.
No, especially if she comes to me and she's like, HR told me I should ask. Really? Well, I'm going to go to HR and tell them that they can go fuck themselves. I'm not giving up my vacation time, and don't you dare fix your lips to suggest it again. Oh my God, that makes me so mad.
But she should have handled it. Every party should have handled it differently. Oh, yeah. For sure. Oh, yeah. This did not have to develop into this whole thing.
Everybody
Especially,
sucks
yes,
here.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said too.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But
I got hot
my
again.
thing was your piss poor planning is not my problem. So it's about the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it all started with the company.
I mean,
it sounds like a toxic environment.
No, don't say it. But yes.
Anyways, so yeah, I agree. I think all parties are assholes in this one.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is maybe it's not that bad, which I'm thinking about relabeling, but we'll see. This one is about something that most people hate, but you actually don't mind. Again, I picked 4, but you can only pick 1, and we'll save the rest for other episodes.
Okay.
Okay. So we got commutes, waking up early, meetings, and criticism. Something that most people hate, but you actually don't mind. Commutes? Okay. Why do you like commutes?
I like them more than anything else on that list.
Okay.
But
yeah, you really don't like early mornings.
Oh God, if I could never see another early morning. That's a terrible thing to say, actually. Let me take that back because universe, I don't mean it. I love early mornings.
But I mean, on the weekends, sometimes you get up early and you enjoy that.
See,
but when it's
that's
forced,
what I was gonna say is if I can get up on my own, I don't mind that. Like you said, I'll get up early on the weekends with the kids and the dogs and let you sleep in and I'll, mosey around, read a book or whatever. But yeah, if I have to get up with an alarm,
it can be the same exact time. but
I'm
like it's
not
completely
having a
different
good
scenarios.
time. I don't have a good time during the school year.
Yeah.
Like
But the
only
weekends, you'll wake up at the same exact time and be just fine.
it's just so hard. I don't know why.
That's funny.
I don't know why.
But anyways.
Even like it's just something in my brain is
Yeah.
like you're being told what to do. I don't like that. I don't know.
The man's telling you when to get up.
Right? Yeah.
Except you set the alarm.
I don't know.
So it's really just you telling you to get
It's
up.
because I know deep down inside the time is a social construct.
Oh my God. Do you want to do waking up early or commutes?
Commutes.
Okay.
No, because I don't
That's
like getting
funny,
up early.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it
yeah.
is that bad.
That's why I'm thinking about relabeling this to like make it a little more open, a little more like broad, you know, so you can go either way
fair.
instead of just one. But I haven't really relabeled it yet.
That's
that may be
fair.
like a new segment that we can
Yeah.
introduce. But
I
why
don't know.
why do you like commutes though?
Sometimes I don't mind it just because like especially like I'll try to get in the groove of like making that like my wake up time, like my get ready for the day, and you know, try to set the tone for my day. So I'll try and, you know, start it off like on a happy note and listen to some good music, something that like makes me happy, like feel good about the day.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, uplifting, or something that like makes me feel like a bad bitch going into the day,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay,
like,
yeah. Uh-huh. That's fair.
yeah, so I'll just really, I guess I just try to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't have a choice but to commute, then okay,
You make the most of it, right.
yeah, I'll listen to some music. If I'm just not feeling that, I'll throw it in a podcast. And,
Yeah.
like just cruise.
That's exactly the
whatever.
example that I had on there too. It's like it's podcast time or audiobook time or like your decompressed time, especially
Exactly.
like going back. Like when I was still at LM, right? I definitely wouldn't want to go from like the stressful, you know, if I was, you know, stressed out that day or whatever, right? And then like immediately just transferring into like home. Like I need that buffer, that decompressed time. Like, okay, like now I need to transition. That's why I look at it. It's like a transition time from like home to work.
Well, that's how I would treat it too. Like because I would go straight from work to go picking up the kids from school.
Yeah.
So especially
Yeah,
then
H&R,
I'm like,
right.
if I'm having a shit day, like,
Yeah.
like
you
this
get
is
some
my
screamo
time.
going?
And I would. I would too. Like get out there and just fucking blast some.
Yeah.
What is it? A Day to Remember. Downfall
okay.
of Us All.
Yep.
Oh. That'll just hit you real
Yeah.
good.
But that's, I
thinking
mean,
about it.
it's good to have that. I mean, I'm glad I don't commute anymore, but I definitely, you know, going back and forth between the environments, it's nice to have that. So like now, right, since there's no commute, right, just work from home, there's no like, that's something that I'm still figuring out is like that transition,
Yeah.
right? And like, because I don't have that natural
Yeah.
commute transition anymore.
That makes a
It's
lot
all
of sense,
just
actually.
Like, it's all just, I work here.
I think
You know what I
that's
mean?
Yeah, that
So
actually makes
it's-
a lot of sense. I think that's why like I used to struggle so much towards the end there at my corporate job. Because I was working from home.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm like in my
the rental.
office just fucking hating my life all day, and I don't have a commute. All I do is like leave my office and I'm still there. Like
Yeah. There's no
where I
decompressed
just had
time.
a shit
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Like the only thing to do is go rot in bed.
Yep.
But I gotta go make dinner.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
like-
Yeah. That's definitely one thing that I mean I wouldn't go back obviously.
No,
I don't miss that
couldn't
life
do
at all.
that,
But
anymore.
I definitely prefer this. But I do need to get better at like transitioning, which I think I've gotten better since I started at least, because before like especially when it was like hot and heavy, like it was just like, you know, developing everything and all that kind of stuff. Like it was long days, long, you know, nights and everything. But now that things have kind of like calmed down a little bit, it's easier to transition. So like I'll have a cutoff time where I'm like, okay, I'm done. Right. And then once I turn everything off, like once I turn the studio off, like I'm done. Like I am focused on, you know,
Yeah.
it's almost like my commute, my decompression time is me shutting down the studio.
Yeah, I guess
It's weird. Like I don't get like the
it's a whole
music or the screamo
process that
going.
you have,
Well, I don't have
but-
screamo, but I don't have like super bad days anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, I don't have days like that anymore.
yeah,
but-
where I don't need to go into the car and like scream or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really my commute now, which it may sound weird, you know, my commute or my decompression time is really, my transition time is really just shutting down the studio. And as soon as I walk out that door, it's like, okay, I'm focused on this now.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's my commute now.
Yeah.
I do miss and that's one thing that I do before I even now that I'm not in the car nearly as much anymore. Before I pull out of the garage, I'd start my music.
Yeah.
Because I don't get my music time anymore. Here I listen to my focus playlist or my you've heard it the low beats techno kind of stuff. Just fill the silence kind of thing while I'm working. But I don't get the regular music anymore like I used to in my commute.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I make a point before I pull out of the driveway, my music's ready to go.
Yeah, that's
you want to go to the corner store,
right?
Before I pull out, I start a song.
Yeah, just something
I don't get to listen to
small.
music anymore.
Right? Yeah, I suppose that's true.
That's the one thing that I like about the commute.
Yeah.
I
guess I just listen to music whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. Well, that should be an episode right there on how you do that, because you can read a book, watch a movie, and listen to a song at the same time and still take all of it in. And I think you're a psychopath for it. Because that's insane.
When I have, this is just going to add to that thought. When I create the noise, it quiets the inside noise.
Goodness.
It really does make it a little bit easier to read.
So much noise, though.
When when I'm, if I hyper focus on my reading, then kind of zone out and I'll zone in on what I'm doing. And then say, the kids come running up or something, then all of a sudden, I become aware of everything and I'm overstimulated and I'm that's it. Turn it all off.
Yeah.
I'm done. Give it 10 minutes and then start it up again.
That's so much. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on all that. When we're watching a movie, at night or whatever, and then you start reading a book, I don't know how you. That's one thing too. If you would have tried to do that while we were watching, what was the last movie we watched? Final Destination, Bloodlines.
Oh yeah, no, that one I couldn't.
No, okay, yeah. See,
I don't think I started reading during. No, I didn't.
I don't think so.
Start
No, I'm saying if you did,
Yeah. Oh no.
That's
yeah.
so, a brand new movie and a brand new book.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that's how I know that a movie is a good movie when I'm sitting there watching it and not once am I I'm gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's why I hate going to movie theaters, because I need to do something else while I'm watching a movie if it's a shit movie.
Yeah.
Or just,
That's
I
fair.
guess not necessarily a shit movie, but just not enough.
Something. Yeah, it's not stimulating.
Or
enough.
yeah,
right.
and I mean sometimes movies are just really predictable too.
It can be.
So even with watching, how I make a point to not watch all of the trailers.
Yeah.
I'll watch it until I'm this looks good, shut it off.
Yeah.
Because a lot of trailers, you can practically, with Wicked, people are going to hate me for this, I'm sure, but any Wicked fans out there, I don't really feel like I need to watch it because I went on Peacock and I saw the preview for it. I feel like I watched the whole fucking movie already.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
and
sure people
that's
aren't
why
gonna
when
like
I tried watching it, I fell asleep. So because I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to sit there and watch this movie that everybody's been raving about.
Right.
Fell asleep on the couch. But yeah, I have to be able to do something.
There are some things though where you don't reach for anything. You don't reach for your tablet or like Bloodlines. That was one you didn't, right? I mean, it's kind of what few and far between, I guess. Almost.
I know. I'm trying to think of another one. I think I felt that way about Don't Worry, Darling.
I don't know. Sinners got you.
We were in theaters, so I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a good.
But I feel
movie.
I feel even if we watched it at home, you wouldn't.
I probably would have just been glued to it. I
mean,
I was when we watched
you really
it
like
again.
that one. Yeah, that's one thing. That's something we should definitely talk about in an episode too. Is Sinners and Bloodlines and stuff like that, especially Sinners. But I went into. I wish. We've said this before, but I wish that I didn't go into it as blind as I did.
Yeah.
I wish I had an idea.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that I guess we can't talk about it, but.
I guess it's still fairly new that we probably shouldn't.
But yeah, we should definitely once we start an episode, put out that spoiler. Right?
Yeah.
And then talk about it, because that is a crazy movie.
It is such a good movie. But yeah, we went into it completely blind. And that was my fault. Because I was I don't want to see anything. I already know I want to watch it.
I definitely wish I would have.
I don't want to see anything at all.
Yeah.
I think I watched maybe a quarter of one trailer. And then I was that's it. I know I want to watch it.
I watched one.
Yeah, but then I was like, I'm
blind.
just going to wait until it comes out.
Yeah.
And so just like ducking and making a point to not watch any like TikTok videos about it or anything.
Yep.
And then I went to that one party and this dude was like, oh, it's such a good movie and the soundtrack and blah, blah, blah. And the next day I was like, it's playing at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Go see it.
Yeah, then we went to go see it.
I was like, I can't hold out anymore. I have to go see this fucking movie.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was a good one. But I do wish that that I had like maybe watched a full trailer.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I made a point not to go into Bloodlines completely blind. Like I made sure I at least watched the trailer.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean,
even that still, I think I watched only like one, but
oh yeah, I only watched
really,
one.
I was like,
but at least I had an idea.
Yeah, well, because I was like, it's Final Destination. It's like the sixth one. Come on.
It is different though. You should go watch it.
You should go watch it
because it's a really good.
It's a good movie.
All right, you ready to move on?
Yeah, I don't know how we got here.
Commutes. We were talking about.
It's all right. We'll find it.
Yeah. Well, it was all the like listen to music and the commutes and all that, but then we went off on a tangent.
That's my bad.
Okay, so for our last segment is the feel good for the week. Because we could use more good news, obviously. We're filming this on June 19th, so we're going to honor Juneteenth.
Yay! Happy Juneteenth, y'all.
I found this article on the National Museum of African American History and Culture website. Links in the description if you're interested. So, the historical legacy of Juneteenth. On Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched onto plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation end slavery throughout the United States, but not everyone in the Confederate territory would be immediately free. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19th, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that the more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. The post-emancipation period, known as Reconstruction, I actually didn't know this, known as Reconstruction, 1865 to 1877, marked an era of great hope, uncertainty, and struggle for the nation as a whole. Formerly enslaved people immediately sought to reunify families, establish schools, run for political office, push radical legislation, even sue slaveholders for compensation. Fucking ain't right. Given the 200 plus years of enslavement, such changes were nothing short of amazing. Not even a generation out of slavery, African Americans were inspired and empowered to transform their lives and their country. Juneteenth marks our country's second Independence Day. Although it has long been celebrated in the African American community, this monumental event remains largely unknown to most Americans, which is fucking wild to me. The historical legacy of Juneteenth shows the value of never giving up hope in uncertain times. The National Museum of African American History and Culture is a community space where this spirit of hope lives on. A place where historical events like Juneteenth are shared and news stories with equal urgency are told. So, happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Yay! Happy Juneteenth. Freedom!
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No. Happy Juneteenth!
Happy Juneteenth. All right, that's it for this week's episode of Ranting, the Rant Files. And we'll see everybody next week.
Yay!
Okay, bye.
Bye!